How has Batman survived the apocalypse, and why is he wearing a straitjacket, and is that the Joker's head in the lantern? And holy cow, are those gigantic baby Green Lantern constructs? DC's Black Label brings us Batman The Last Night on Earth and the last great Batman story told by legendary awesome guy Scott Snyder and his partner in crime Greg Capullo. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Comic Island. My name is Joey, and a quick shout out to Max for bringing me this amazing Batman story. And if you're wondering why I'm in this crazy interesting room, this is actually my old office with all the strange pop figure collections. That's all been reduced. I'm recently moved to a different room in the house, so let's get there right now. Now, I was blown away by the grit and the chaos that this story brings onto the Batman mythos, so this is my spoiler-filled discussion on Batman The Last Night on Earth. You guys hear the echo in the sound quality? Now, I haven't got the acoustics figured out in this room yet, and I'm working towards figuring all that out, so bear with me until I get that straightened out. And if you're new to the channel, consider liking this video and subscribing because I'm gonna be bringing you a lot of Batman content in the weeks ahead. Alright, back to the video. So it goes without saying, please check out Batman The Last Night on Earth, the first issue, and then come back to this video, and we'll continue said discussion. Roll the intro. Wait, the intro played already, didn't it? Well, let's get on to it. So let's jump into the good stuff and answer an important question. Batman The Last Night on Earth is a part of DC's relaunch of the self-contained limited series that happens outside of continuity. Much like what DC did with their DCU label, which followed the reboot DC called The New 52, DCU was meant to be a soft relaunch which gave writers a bit of a clean slate to redesign certain iconic costumes and put more of a focus on storytelling rather than continuity. Oh, and just a quick note on character design. DCU launches by fixing an over-sexualized Starfire back to a design resembling her original Teen Titans. That was a great move, but then they gave the new Batman a mech suit with bunny ears. Not the best idea you had, DC, but you did turn everyone else into Batman except for Gordon, so I'll bite. Heck, even Alfred has been Batman more often than Gordon. Now, DCU gave writers more freedom to tell amazing stories that strayed away from continuity, and yet it should fit into canon. But with DC's Black Label, which launched in 2018, writers now get a chance to veer off course and tell self-contained limited edition stories that are not part of continuity. DC's Black Label also reunited Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo together once again to tell their final Batman story in a post-apocalyptic world, and I nearly had a heart attack. Snyder and Capullo are by far, hands down, the best writer and artist duo Batman has ever seen, in my opinion, of course. Zero Year was amazing, and it reignited a much needed light back into the glory of the Riddler, while tying in a history with a fresh Batman who isn't as conditioned as the type of Batman we've seen in other stories, such as the Justice League series. Side note, guys, Snyder and Capullo had already made plans for Batman Last Night on Earth during their work on 0 Year, so I take it as this Batman we're reading in Last Night on Earth is the brainchild of Snyder and Capullo, who went through events in 0 Year, Death of the Family, and the Dark Knight's Metal, not to mention their run in reintroducing Batman in 2011. The true fact about comic books is simple. Multiple writers will work on a superhero, so we get slightly different traits and personality, but the fundamentals are still the same. Over 75 years of evolving Batman through different writers. Snyder and Capullo will finish their run of Bruce Wayne from beginning to a post-apocalyptic end in Batman The Last Night on Earth. But enough about me geeking over writers and artists. Let's discuss the story itself. Now, Batman's Last Night on Earth happens outside of continuity, meaning none of this actually happens in the real canon. And then there's legend. I get those two mixed up sometimes. Batman Last Night on Earth is canon. Hope I got that right. Just raw, gritty, amazing stories that writers wanted to craft without the bondage of staying true to continuity. DCU tried to give us this, but a DC's Black Label will hopefully come full circle. The massive first issue begins with an amazing farewell between Batman and the man that's been with him through everything I can imagine, Alfred Pennyworth. By the way, guys, so apparently DC is bringing out a TV show called Pennyworth after Gotham wraps up, just to give us a fix. Are you gonna check it out? Let me know, comments below. Now, Bruce Wayne, wakes up in Arkham chained up and a straitjacket. His doctor of the past 20 years is a man resembling the Joker with other villains who turns out to be the staff at Arkham. Pennyworth is the only man who stuck by his side and reassures him that he has been in a fantasy for so long thinking he was a bat. And bravo to the mind of Snyder for Bruce concocting the bat persona from a black cow meant for shock therapy, which resembles the iconic Batman look. And also turning Batman's allies such as Gordon and Bullock to orderlies and security of Arkham. Holy cow, that was amazing. This is probably one of the best stories anyone can tell about Batman, that he is a crazy person who thinks he's a crime-fighting vigilante. Let's rewind back to the early 90s to the Batman animated series that started it all. Batman Purchased to Dream shows a Bruce Wayne waking up thinking he is Batman, but instead, no Batcave in the grandfather clock and his parents are still alive. Instead, he reads about Batman in the newspaper and is given psychiatric care. Turns out, he fights the easy way and decides to call out Batman himself. The end sees Bruce was right and that he was stuck in a dream machine made by the Mad Hatter. Batman Last Night on Earth happens almost the same way with more clever additions from the other Batman characters, but it ends with Batman fighting others in an amazing image of him in a straitjacket and his cowl for shock therapy. This out-of-continuity Batman story continues with the caped crusader leaving Arkham and finding himself in a wasteland. The addition of Joker's head inside a lantern is a stroke of genius. What better way to end Batman by giving him a companion that is his greatest foe with only the ability to talk? Joker is missing his entire body and is placed in a lantern as if he was there to greet travelers in and out of a building or private area. Whoever did this to him is probably the one who caused the apocalypse. My go-to culprit for all things apocalyptic in the DCU is always Vandal Savage, a caveman with permanent immortality. Yes, he has been killed a few times, but the guy keeps coming back. Not even Ra's al Ghul and his Lazarus Pit can compare to Vandal Savage's ability to survive Earth-ending events. This theory could also answer how Joker manages to stay alive without a body. The Dionysium he came in contact with back in Batman Endgame, which gives him similar immortality that Vandal has. The same impure substance that is present in the Lazarus Pit. Hence, Ra's going insane every time he leaves the pool. Sorry, drifted again. Mind wanders. Back to the story. Since Mogo is dead and wandering Earth's orbit, Green Lantern rings start falling to Earth for anyone to take. A human survivor with not so strong willpower takes the ring. In the past, rings will reject bearers who don't have enough willpower or the ring doesn't work at all. But in this case, the ring embodies an entity of its own, born new and overpowering and enslaving their host like what leeches does. Since these rings are new entities, they take up what the host would envision a new entity that they would bond with. A newborn, but in this case, a deformed, grotesque, gigantic baby made out of pure green empowered constructs. This new entity is so powerful that they seem to have completely drained the human's willpower, so much so that the human doesn't even stand or have a need to eat as depicted by their scrawny physique. Bravo Snyder for even coming up with this, and Greg Capullo, your art is gritty, emotional, and you bring your A game every single time. I think I have a man crush. Mohawk badass Wonder Woman saves the Last Night on Earth with his pet Joker head, and this is where we discover how it ended. How the world fell into its current apocalyptic state. The world's resources were being depleted, and instead of coming together to form a united Earth government and blasting the Earth to a different solar system to save it, the people turned on the hero. Wait, I think I'm talking about a different movie. The Wandering Earth on Netflix. Have you seen it? It's on Netflix and it's so good. Anyway, governments were overthrown and the people turned on the heroes. Batman advocated for opening the Hall of Justice doors to the people, but instead of showing appreciation, the humans tore him apart. That is right, the OG Batman is dead, so who is the new Batman that we have been reading about since the beginning of Arkham? He is a clone of the original Batman, imbued with all of the experience and the pain the original Batman had faced. Made from a machine developed by OG Batman to ensure that there will always be a Batman in every generation defending Gotham and the whole world. Snyder did it again by bringing in his creation that killed Bruce Wayne following the events of Endgame. This machine did just that. Killed off the original Bruce Wayne persona and imbued the body with every pain and memory that Batman had ever faced. He came back just in time to reclaim the title of Batman from bunny ears and saves Gotham from a villain who needs more screen time, Mr. Bloom. In Batman The Last Night on Earth, this exact same machine was given to an aged Alfred from Wonder Woman out of mercy so that he can bring back his Bruce Wayne so the two can be reunited one last time. Batman is of course invited to join Wonder Woman and a few remaining heroes with the last remnants of humanity to Hades' underworld to live out the rest of their lives away from the apocalypse. But Batman, being the man that he is, sees this as giving up, so he goes with the badass decision and goes back to the surface to seek vengeance and save the day and do whatever a hero does. The story ends there, but Batman The Last Night on Earth has so many layers and mysteries that have yet to be unfolded. Now we are left with questions such as, where is Superman? Diana believes Superman to be dead, but we know that he isn't from the Last Night on Earth trailer. Diana told Bruce that one of his disciples caused the end of the world, and we see an image of someone looking, well, kind of like Darkseid. And then there's the Joker. What's more intriguing besides the fact that he is just a head in a lantern is that he has a poem that he can't remember correctly. The intrigue and the mystery and the awesomeness that is Snyder and Capullo. But no story is without sin. My only complaint is how OG Batman fell. Our beloved OG Batman died because he tried to save humanity by opening the doors to the Hall of Justice. It's just so hard for me to accept that, but this is DC's Black Label, where writers, aka Scott Snyder, gets the chance to explore different things out of the realm and to craft stories that are just amazing without affecting continuity, aka canon. I got that right? So if you haven't checked out Batman The Last Night on Earth yet, consider picking it up. But if you have already read the issue, what do you think? Do you really think that it was one of Batman's disciples or someone that looks like Darkseid who really started the apocalypse? Or was it somebody else? Vandal Savage? Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to support us, check out our Patreon page. The link will be in the description below. Thanks again, and please like, subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I'll see you guys next time in another Comic Island video.